Hello students, I am Lalita S. Humraskar, economics teacher, BYK College of Commerce welcomes you in online lecture series organized by Gokhale Education Society's Central Coordination Committee for class 12. Today I am going to discuss with you chapter number 9, that is money market and capital market in India. In this chapter, I am going to discuss with you indigenous bankers, money lenders and non-bank financial intermediaries, that is nidhis, chit funds and loan companies as a part of unorganized sector of money market. All of you know what is money market. Money market is a market for lending and borrowing short-term funds. And money market is a dichotomous by nature. It means there are two branches of money market. First one is the organized sector of the money market and second one is unorganized sector of the money market. So today I am going to discuss with you unorganized sector of the money market. In this topic I am going to discuss with you number 1 indigenous bankers, number 2 money lenders and number 3 non-bank financial intermediaries, that is nidhis, chit funds and loan companies. Let us see first one, that is the first part of unorganized sector of money market, that is the indigenous bankers. Okay, so indigenous bankers are financial intermediaries that function similar to the bank. What do you understand by financial intermediary? Financial intermediaries are any institution that moves money between savers and borrowers. Again, I am repeating, what is financial intermediary? Financial intermediaries are any institution that moves money between savers and borrowers. So, indigenous bankers are financial intermediaries that function similar to the bank. They mostly deal in short-term credit instruments such as hundi. Indigenous bankers deals in short-term credit instrument that is known as a hundi. What do you understand by hundi? Hundi is an unconditional order in writing made by a person directing another to pay a certain sum of money to a person named in the order. Again, I am repeating, hundi is an unconditional order in writing made by a person directing another to pay a certain sum of money to a person named in the order. So, hundi is a part of informal system and hundis have no legal status. Okay. So, indigenous bankers, they are mostly dealing short-term credit instruments such as hundi. The rate of interest differs from one market to another. Indigenous bankers are an important source of funds in unbanked areas and provide loans directly to agriculture, trade and industry. Okay, so indigenous bankers are known by different names in different parts of India, such as Shroffs, Marwadis, Multanis, Jains, Saukaris, Mahajans, Khatris, Seth, Baniyas, etc. So indigenous bankers, they are known by different names in different parts of India. Indigenous bankers perform a number of banking and non-banking functions. Okay, so indigenous bankers similarly function like a bank. Okay, so indigenous banker perform a number of banking and non-banking functions also. And what are they? They are accepting deposits, advancing loans, discounting hundis, remittance facilities, financing inland trade, commission agents, etc. What do you understand by remittance facilities? Remittance facilities refers to money that is sent or transferred to another party. So the term is derived from the word remit, which means send back. So money is transferred through electronic funds such as RTGS, NEFT, electronic clearing system, etc. So that is known as a remittance facilities. Okay, so indigenous banker perform a number of banking and non-banking functions such as accepting deposits, giving loans, discounting hundis, remittance facilities, financing inland trade, commission agents, etc. Second part of unorganized sector of the money market is money lenders. Okay, money lender mostly operate in the villages. Okay, money lender usually charge a high rate of interest. Why money lender charge high rate of interest? Because there are no certain rules and regulation to control the activities of the money lender. So they charge a high rate of interest. The loan provided by money lenders are both productive and unproductive purposes. What do you understand by productive purposes and unproductive purpose? Okay, productive purpose means productive loans are the loans that are related to agricultural production and economically justify. For example, purchase of tractor, land, seeds, etc. So these are productive purpose for which loan is taken by the people. Okay, and what is the unproductive purpose? Unproductive credit is used for personal consumption and unrelated to productive activity. For example, loans for expenditure on marriages, religious ceremonies, etc. Okay, so the loans provided by the money lender are both for productive and unproductive purpose. Agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, artisans, small traders, etc. usually borrow money from money lenders. Okay, what do you understand by small and marginal farmers? What is a small farmer? Small farmer means farmer cultivating agricultural land of more than 1 hectare up to 2 hectares. That is known as a small farmer. And what is marginal farmer? Marginal farmer means the farmer cultivating agricultural land up to 1 hectare. So 1 hectare means how much? 2.5 acres. Okay. So agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, artisans, small traders, etc. usually borrow money from money lenders. At present, the activities of the money lenders have been restricted by the Reserve Bank of India due to their exploitative tendencies. Let us see the difference between indigenous banker and money lender. Number one is indigenous bankers are organized company. Activities include in this organization are acceptance of deposit as lending of money. Okay, and what happen in case of money lender? Money lenders are individual or a person. Activities do not include the acceptance of deposit. Okay, number two is indigenous bankers fulfills the needs of people in general and also helps in business in particular. And what happened to money lender? Money lenders helps the needs of agriculture and provide money only to poor people. Okay, number three is under indigenous banker, interest of money by bank depends on the rule of Reserve Bank of India. Okay, and here what happened to money lender? Money lender decide their own interest rate. Okay, there is no control on the activities of the money lender. So that is the difference between indigenous banker and money lender. Now next one, that is a third one is unorganized non-bank financial intermediaries, that is a part of unorganized sector of the money market. Under that first one is chit funds. Okay, what do you understand by chit funds? Chit fund is defined as per the section 2B of the Chit Fund Act 1982. So chit fund is a constitutional provision. So according to this act, a chit fund is a type of rotating savings and agreements among different persons, that is friends, relatives, neighbors and family members, to subscribe a certain sum of money for a specified period of time. So that is known as a chit fund, and chit fund is a constitutional provision. Okay, so under chit funds, members make regular contribution to the fund. Okay, so bids or draws are made on the basis of a criteria mutually agreed upon by the members. Accordingly, the collected fund is given to the chosen members. Okay, so chit funds mostly operate in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. How do chit fund works? Let us see how chit fund works. Okay, so a chit scheme generally has a predetermined value and duration. So each scheme admits a particular number of members who contribute a sum of money every month to the pot. Okay, second step is the bid or discount amount is distributed among other members. Next step is in case of delayed payment or default from the members, the chit fund organizer will put the money. The pot is auctioned out every month and the highest bidder, that is known as a prize subscriber, wins the pot for that month. This is how chit fund works. Some of the most famous and successful chit fund houses in India, some names are given here. Number one is a Mysore Sales International that belongs to Government of Karnataka. Number two is a Kerala State Finance Enterprise, that is KSFE. Number three is a Shriram Chits that belongs to Shriram Group. Number four is Margadarshi Chits that belongs to the Ramoji Rao Group. So these are the names of most famous and successful chit fund houses in India. Now next one is a next non-bank financial intermediary, that is company is Nidhi. A Nidhi company is a type of company in the Indian non-banking finance sector recognized under section 406 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay, so Nidhi is also constitutional provision as per the Companies Act 2013. Their core business is borrowing and lending money between their members. So what is the basic business of Nidhi company? That is borrowing and lending money between their members. Okay, so their Nidhis are also known as permanent funds, benefit funds, mutual benefit funds, and mutual benefit company. Okay, so at present there are 333 Nidhi companies in India which are duly approved by the central government under 620A of the Companies Act. Okay, so loans are provided to members under Nidhi company at reasonable rate of the interest. Number three is non-bank financial companies are loan companies. Okay, so loan companies are finance companies. They provide loans to traders, small scale industries, and self-employed persons. So being unregulated, they charge a high rate of interest on loans. Some names of loan companies in India are given here. They are very popular. Okay, number one is Power Finance Corporation Limited. Number two is a HDFC Limited. Number three, Bajaj Finance Limited. Number four, Shriram Transport Finance Corporation Limited. Number five, Muthoot Finance Limited. Number six, L&T Finance Limited. Number seven, Aditya Birla Finance. Number 8, Manappuram Finance. Number 9, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. And number 10, Credila Financial Services Private Limited. So these are the names of private loan companies which provide loans to the society. Okay, so students, what I discussed with you today, unorganized sector of the money market. Okay, and finally, thank you for listening my video lecture.